Hello, my name is Dr. Anthony Hollingsworth, and this is the overview video of the online course Lang 430 Greek Mythology. In this course, we're going to be covering a lot of different aspects about ancient classical mythology, it's sometimes called, or more traditionally, Greek mythology. This online course will be divided up into several sections, and each section will have a series of videos, much like this video, along with reading assignments and written assignments. So what are we going to look at? Well, we're going to begin our tour of Greek mythology with the simple question, what is mythology, and how do people study it? That is, what are the different ways of interpreting what we have from ancient Greece and Rome? Once we've examined various ways of studying mythology, we're going to look right at the stories. And the first set of stories we're going to look at are the creation stories. Now, these were the stories that tried to answer the question, for the ancient Greeks in particular, where do we come from? Once we've looked at those stories, we're going to move into the characters within those stories, primarily the Greek gods. That is, the major gods, the Olympian gods. We're going to read all about their adventures, the trouble they got into, how they've helped humans, but at the same time how they often hindered humans or actually harmed humans in order to get what they themselves wanted. Once we've examined these gods, we're going to transition over into the heroes. That is, the famous men and women in Greek mythology that interacted with the gods. People like Odysseus, people like Hercules, people like Achilles or Theseus. These are the people that we're going to look at, and we're also going to talk about what legends are. So after we've talked about the Greek heroes, finally, our last step will be to look at people like Aeneas, and in particular to look at Roman mythology. How did the Romans take Greek mythology and transition it for their own culture? Because that's basically what they did. They had gods, but they looked at the Greek gods and said, let's bring these gods over because they seem to be more identifiable to us than our own spirits and our own gods. So that's the outline, as it were, of the various sections within the course. Along the way, we're also going to be reading authors that date all the way back to 500, maybe 1000 BC. So about 2,500 years ago, starting with the stories of the creation, but also looking at stories of the various gods. You're also going to learn how Greek myth influenced our world today. That is to say, the way we think, in terms of our religion, and in the way that we interpret the world. All of these areas within modernity have been influenced one way or the other by Greek mythology. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a lot of art. And this is going to happen throughout the entire semester. And as a result of looking at this art, you're going to be able to walk into museums anywhere in the world and say, I recognize that character. I know what this story is. It's my hope that when you see these stories, you'll understand why the artists depicted these authors, or these gods, in this way, number one. And number two, that this whole course will bring back to you the Greek stories that maybe you had learned as a child, or maybe you learned in school, or maybe you learned it in high school. It'll bring those elements back. We'll fill in more details at the college level, and it'll create a nice full picture for you to understand the significance of Greek mythology back then and also in our world today. So good luck with the course, and I can't wait to see you guys online. Thanks.